I am Lindsay Tilley. I am the owner of Encore Academy of Dance. I began taking dance when I was 9 years old. It makes me happy. I continue to dance because it has always been something that's brought me joy and made me happy. And it makes my brain continue to work. Probably within the first couple of years of dancing, I thought that this was something that in some way I could continue throughout life. I always thought I wanted to be a teacher. When I was younger, I actually thought I wanted to be like a school teacher or maybe a preschool teacher. And then when I started dancing, that kind of went out the window until I realized that I could still teach and dance at the same time. As far as I know, they always supported me. And what was said and questioned behind my back, I don't know. I feel like they should have a conversation with people that have been able to make a career out of it because there are so many different paths that can come out of dance besides just trying to be a professional dancer. I trained locally here in Durham with Sharon Bullock for about 3 or 4 years. And then I attended the North Carolina School of the Arts for ballet as a high school student. I always knew once I started ballet that that was going to be what I pursued. I don't know. I probably started thinking of it more as a career once I went to high school and I was there with people that were in that mindset. Well, honestly, when I first started there, I didn't really like it. I went from my home studio of taking 3, 4, sometimes 5 classes a day after a full school day, and then all day Saturday being in class and rehearsal, to going there and taking 4 academic classes and 2 dance classes. So it changed, I guess, my thinking of the quality of what you're getting is more important sometimes than the quantity of what you're getting. And ballet became more of a focus. The other things were nice to be able to do, but it wasn't something that I was focused on at the time. Getting into School of the Arts helped. I really didn't know what I was getting myself into at the time. I kind of thought, oh, this will be a fun adventure. When I got my letter, I actually looked at my mom and said, well, what does that mean? She said, well, do you want to go to school there? I said, well, what does that mean? Like, is that just I leave home and go to school? She said, no, you're going to go. You're going to live on campus and you're going to do all these things. And I was kind of like, oh, okay. Sounds like fun. So I like the challenge of ballet. I actually had someone say to me this week that they had always wanted to do ballet because it always looked so nice and flowy and beautiful. And but it's really not like that behind the scenes. So I like the challenge of that. I think that because I had a younger student with me at the time, it was her first trip away from home, her first dance program outside of our home studio, and her parents were really hesitant about her going. So that in itself kind of put me in that mentor role to kind of take care of her, make sure she got to her classes and stayed on track and those kinds of things. So when Raleigh Dance Theater was transitioning over into Carolina Ballet, they have a pre-professional ballet program still, and wanted to become a professional program. So they brought myself in as their first paid professional dancer, and then began hiring some like apprentice dancers that were also out of high school to come in and be basically their soloists and principals. And so we were looked up to in that aspect, even though we still attended classes with those children and, rehearsals and all those things. Well, I think it's important because with it being my first paid dance position, well, actually, it wasn't my first paid dance position, but um, it was still not enough to support me financially. So having to have a full time job on top of a company job, I just feel like it helped with, organization and time management and all those important life skills. I didn't have a very long relationship with them. Um, I came in actually looking for a teaching position and came in at the same time that the owner actually moved out of Durham. Um, and when I came in, there were only one or two other teachers, and then there was someone working at the desk. And so for about a year, we just ran the studio on our own. The owner wasn't even on site. We talked with her once or twice throughout the year. She showed up at the recital, and that was about it. So it was a very short relationship. I had a better relationship with the teachers that were there than I did with the current owner. I had been teaching around the state at various places, a couple of days here and a couple of days there, and doing a lot of traveling actually to get to those places, and realized that once my oldest son turned 5, I probably wouldn't see him very much if I was not teaching in Durham. And knowing that the owner was not planning to return, I just asked if she had thought ever about selling the studio. The teachers that were there when I bought the studio stayed with us for a while. And for a couple of years, there were just 2 of us that taught. And I had some volunteers that helped out with the desk and things like that. And then as the studio grew and my family grew, I started interviewing and reaching out to people that I knew in the area that might be interested in teaching with us. Positivity. I like family oriented people because I think of our studio as a family. Open minding, willing to try new things and willing to continue to learn, things like that. Mm. I want the studio to be a welcoming place for everyone. I want people to enjoy coming here to continue to learn. I want it to be around for a really long time. As far as like personal goals, I like to continue to learn new things. I like to live on the positive side and not the negative side of things. So I guess the goals are sort of similar. Um, Personal growth, I guess. Self confidence, being willing to take a challenge. Sorry, that one threw me for a loop. What is Encore Academy of Dance? I would like to say that Encore is more than just a dance studio, that it's a extended family of friends, supporters, someone that's going to be there for you when you need them, whether it's, you're home from college and need a place to take a class, or you need someone you can talk to that's not a family member, anything like that. I would like to think that it's our open family feel, and our positivity for a challenge, um, and the friends that they make here, whether it be with teachers or other students. Well, as far as safety goes, we are following lots of guidelines. We're doing mask wearing, hand sanitizing, temperature checks, distancing in the studio, towels on the bars if we're using the bars. Our lobby is closed, our dressing room is closed. The students are not allowed to hang out in between classes. Um, we have our virtual option for kids that don't feel well, or that are not comfortable coming back into the studio yet. So usually we do a lot of community events, performance events, and things like that. The Christmas parades. We are going to do some drives this year, coat drives, food drives. In the past, we've done some things for the Children's Hospital at Duke, and we've done some performances at rest homes and preschools and things like that. Sorry, family friendly.
Then I think we are all good. Thank you so much.
Thank you.